Hey, here we go. Episode 28 Dream Warriors, Guardians of the Galaxy 2. And let's hit that. Oh, before we hit that music, I'm solo today. Yeah, Peter is by himself. Talking. It's Thursday late. And just saw Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I was excited to see it as you are, and you probably have seen it by now, which is good because we're talking. I'm talking with you about it. But let's stop this train real quick and hit the music, and let's get to this. Sorry, had to take a drink there. I am pretty exhausted. Really long day today. It's a good type of long though. Very good type of long because was up early, had to just kind of do a lot. Was up today probably between 5:30 and 6. Just how I live, there's a lot of sunlight that cuts in, and even though I have a alarm set through my Amazon Echo and my phone, my phone one I hardly ever use anymore. It's mostly Amazon Echo, Alexa, and the sunlight just really gets me up, gets me going. But I had to go to different offices today. Minor issues. There was one contract I had to oversee real quick, and normally I don't get into what I do on this, and there's good reason for it, and that's mostly because I'm the only one interested in what I do on my 9 to 5, and so I spare everyone. But so essentially, had like a full day, called it quits around 3 o'clock, and I was on my way to the gym, and just get one of those emails. My phone has a different chime for emails coming in through my Outlook or my Microsoft 365, and so I had to take a detour into Whole Foods and buy something so I could use their Wi-Fi. And you might be saying to yourself, why'd you have to buy something for Wi-Fi? And I'm sorry, real quick though, I don't know if you can hear this, but I think there's somewhat of a bird's nest right near the roof of where I live, because I'm up on the top floor, but the birds don't seem to be sleeping at this hour. So Dallas, aka the greatest cat in the world, he's on bird duty right now, and he's normally conked out at this time, but he hears them and he knows what they are, so he's vigilant in his window watching. But so with Whole Foods, and I kind of have the same mission statement, the personal practice, however you want to describe it, for Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts and Panera Bread, that I don't use their Wi-Fi unless I'm purchasing something. I just think it's a trade-off, and it's immensely helpful having these Wi-Fi hotspots throughout the entire city, especially myself living in the city, moving around the city as much as I do, and just essentially needing to do what I did today, which is, you receive an email, you take a detour, you handle what you have to, and you're out. And, just it's just amazing sometimes, like how far things are and what you can do. I'm never never really taking, I don't really take things for granted on that. So that was like maybe like a 30-minute detour because I buy this energy drink, which I continue to drink throughout the entire day and night, and I'm kind of drinking right now. It's called Highball, and which I like it because it kind of sounds like 8 Ball, and I kind of smashed some 99 peaches in this black cherry 8 Ball today, and actually came out like really, really good, and was kind of like hammering those because I bought about 4 of them just to throw it into my bag, and when I saw Guardians later, I still, I had one of them, like a fresh one on me. If you follow me on Instagram, AKAPAD13, I updated it through my Instagram stories. So, anyone out there that wants to kind of see my day-to-day and just how eclectic and erratic and just really like almost like adult ADD-ish my days are sometimes, just follow me there. But yeah, so cleared out of the Whole Foods, hit the gym, had a really really strong 45 minute shoulder workout, and it's hard to go into strength training or to kind of start to peak yourself or continue some of that when you have 45 minutes. So usually when I'm down to the 45-minute mark, it's going to be a smaller muscle group and focus on pump, and that's exactly what I did. So I came out feeling amazing. At that point, my buddy John was coming to pick me up. He is IT at Temple, and believe it or not, we hardly ever talk tech stuff. When most of our discussions are revolving around making fun of people we went to high school with, acting like we're better than the people we went to high school with. Okay, honestly, we're better than most of the people we went to high school with, and that's mean. But we troll them on Facebook. I'm hardly ever on Facebook, but he sends me screenshots, and that keeps the flames of the friendship burning. But he came by, and by that time I was just out of the shower, so it was like perfect timing. Good for him, because he got to see like a recently pumped watered down, oiled up, like wet hair showered Peter. So I grabbed my bag because I had a couple comic books in there for him, since I've been redoing my eBay inventory the last couple weeks, and shot that account through the stratosphere, and I'm really happy with the results. Sales are up, we're a little bit into it now, but kind of falling off, but the eBay spike is roughly 600% now, difference between where it was previously. So yeah, so he came by. We went right to this place called Zen Burger, and they're kind of like a highfalutin version of not Bobby's Burger Palace, Five Guys. And the Bobby's Burger Palace near where we were going, which is around Cherry Hill, New Jersey, closed. So it was just like one of those things where Zen Burger by default, kind of just became our selection. And give me one moment here. Okay, we're back. Sorry, I had to move my timeline on my app here because I couldn't see it moving, but I wasn't zoomed in, so I had to zoom out. But yeah, so that tastes so good. So yeah, so we had Zen Burger, and essentially got a super burger, because they had like turkey chili on the menu, and I don't know what that is. I really don't. When my ex used to live here, I used to make it, and I had like a really good recipe for it, but hated it at the same time. So So it was like one of those things where, when I became single, I was given singlehood. I didn't choose it; I was given it. Turkey chili was just one of those things. Like, what are we really doing here? Like, why? I get it. You want the leanest meat possible with the highest protein count, but the regular, the populace, the people that Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is really targeted for, like normal people that aren't freaking extreme. Who really wants that? Who really wants turkey chili? I can't think of a single soul on earth, if they tasted regular chili versus turkey chili, even poorly made regular chili. I'm talking like Hormel's from the can, Campbell Soup chunky turkey chili. Even that sodium nitrate infusion based chili will trump the best made turkey chili all the time. This is furthered by things like three bean chili. There's a sign in Philly I'm constantly walking past. It's advertised three bean chili, and I'm like, why do I even want beans in my chili to begin with? So we're kind of done with that. But on the menu, this place had turkey. It was like a turkey sloppy joe, and I just was like, no, can't do it. So, but I still wanted it because I wanted the chili. So I told the guy to put a burger patty on the sloppy joe and add avocado. And you know what? It was pretty damn good. Didn't taste any of the chili. Got the chili flavoring with the burger patty, and we were good to go. And at that point, I had about like a full can of Highball. I really want to call it 8-Ball, and which was really kind of like probably about 4 or 5 shots of 99 Peaches was in that. So by that point I had the Yingling. I might have had 2, maybe 2, and it was kind of like movie time. I'll get into it maybe later. Norm's coming over in a few days. He's coming over on Sunday for us to do homework and to talk about this because he's seeing the movie tonight. He texted me. I couldn't respond just because it's just been we just had trouble figuring out the movie, meaning seeing the movie. But it kind of works itself out. But I wanted to get into this, and I wanted to record and do the solo episode. And look, the thing to understand is I'm not shy about it because I really think it was like born through fire. Like out of the fire and into like what's the phrase, out of the skillet into the fire. Well, this was like out of the fire into the vat of iron being forged into like the sword, like fire to iron type thing. That's a lot of how I envisioned, how I remember or want to remember my earlier years, grade school, high school, and I don't care what anyone says, but those are your impressions, those are your imprints, and that's what you're battling through adulthood. With or without expanding your life into like families and things like that. And someone like me who has like a lot of babies all over the place, and by babies I mean out of control 20 and 30 something women that act like babies that I constantly have to deal with. But I'm just joking there. Not really. No, really, I am. So like speaking was always an issue, and one of the ways that I was like born through fire into iron is I kind of had a speech impediment, and it's still there, and it never will go away. It's kind of like the source of this unique accent that everyone's convinced that I have. it has also affected my speech pattern, how I choose to say what I want to say. But it also drove me towards reading, and which is how I'm so disciplined about books today. Like I grew up reading comic books. I kind of ditched comics a lot in my mid-20s, like early 20s. I would say maybe 22, 23. So that was maybe like 02, 03 maybe. And really got into books and had built a more of a book library in my adulthood than a comic book library in my younger years. And like that's growth. These are the stages you do want to go through in life. So speaking, even doing the podcast, even doing Bad Eats for YouTube, check us out on YouTube, is a huge thing. Like I'm talking about someone who is afraid of heights walking on the edge of a skyscraper. Like it is that level of fear in me, just doing this. But that's a little bit what Dream Warriors also represents. So me doing like a solo episode really was one of those things I had to do. And Dallas is just staring at me right now from across the room. I think he's wondering why I can't get the birds. Or he's more curious of what the hell they're doing at this hour. Hopefully, I think they're fine. 1 moment, I'm going to take a little drink of this. Yeah, so me doing a solo episode, long time coming. I had to be like inspired to do it, and this is where Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 comes in. Because seeing this movie tonight, the help of alcohol, I just felt truly inspired coming out of this movie, and really like almost like sad and like heartfelt. We might be getting some noise coming through. I hear some people coming in through my hallway. FYI, if the microphone picks that up. And so leaving that movie tonight, a couple things occurred to me. The biggest thing was this conversation. I think this war that's brewing. Kind of wish there was like a larger audience and like a bigger voice for what's done here with Dream Warriors. Is because I take pride in the conversation that's forwarded through this podcast. That hopefully will bleed over into like YouTube and other types of content. That the thump is Dallas. I think we're gonna get a little visit from the little fuzzy dude. What's up, little man? What you doing? He's so righteous. He's so much better than you and I. And and so it really seems so clear. It seems like a just seems apparent. There he goes. It just seems very, very clear that there's like either talking points or just something that gets circulated within these reviewers, these people that build the conversation for a movie up early. And sorry, Dallas he gets a squirt every now and again because he is a little bit of a shit. And he was just scratching my rug. And you can't do that here. I don't care who you are. And maybe if you're 22-year-old stripper with daddy issues, I would allow it. But he's not, so it's not. And so, like, a lot of these reviews have been coming out for a little bit on Guardians Volume 2. And it's just very odd to me how, it seems like film companies have PR divisions now that really operate like they're Washington lobbyists, and they forward out these talking points at a huge velocity. They grow partners through early access screenings and other like almost like merchandise, like a lot of these reviewers are bought and paid for in so many creative and interesting ways. And I give credit to the apparatus and to the system. Do I feel like a need to kind of work towards becoming a part of that type of establishment? I really don't, because Dream Warriors can exist outside of all of it, and I feel like it should, because the voice will always be the most significant part of this podcast, is the point of view, the position, and getting to the meat of what some of this stuff is. And that's why I'm looking forward to going through the movie with Norm, because Norm comes from that sphere and I do not. So I will tell you right now, I'm anticipating a clash with Norm. That could also be the alcohol giving me insight into the third dimension on this, but I highly doubt someone like Norm, I say that in a very loving way, but someone coming from Norm, where he's coming from, is not going to like this movie. And that kind of breaks my heart. It upsets me, because getting back to a couple minutes ago, is these reviewers recycle talking points at a staggering pace. Meaning, and by that I mean that it's really like, if it's not done this way, then I don't know how you explain how so many different reviewers say the same exact thing about the same exact movies consistently. And this goes for YouTube and Reddit. So the core monitors YouTube and distributes the video and comments on YouTube videos, but the core is also the ones that will tell their friends and family and coworkers about what they're seeing, what to see, and why they should not see movies. So do they have influence? Certainly, major influence. It's hard to gauge, but you kind of know it's there. And and this stuff's just apparent with other parts of the personality that falls into the establishment. So it really comes down to it, to where hopefully a lot of this content gets purged, meaning that it ceases to be absorbed. But at the end of the day, the establishment will still be there. It will still bear down on us and take away insight. Take away what's really done when we sit down and watch a movie. And a lot of it comes, just from the perception, like the idea, you get a $200 million movie. Like, what's trying to be done here? And it's not just greedy Hollywood guys trying to make money. There's plenty of people in the industry that want art, that want to forward the conversation of progress within film on all levels, even social progress. Does it go too far? Should it be policed? 100%. I even feel like some of that should even be policed nowadays. Within the industry, believe it or not. And sorry, Dallas is now on his hind legs, looking out the window, poking his head in there, and he's 6 floors up, and but he knows there's nothing for him to do. He just gets excited. Sorry, it's really weird seeing him like this at this hour. But no, and so we have this apparatus controlling what these people are saying about movies, which strongly corrupts where you are as an audience member entering this movie. And I was tweeting about this earlier, and the one thing to understand about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is that we're coming from a place of surprise, and we were shocked and awed with that first movie. I would have to double check when the movie came out, but what year that was. A solid year. No one really knew what that movie was, what to expect. I remember going into that movie, I watched Slither, directed by James Gunn for the first time, and was really taken aback by how well it was made. Period. I'm talking from writing, acting to what you saw frame to frame, just as like the look and the feel and like the visual tone of the movie. Slither in my eyes for what it is, like the type of movie it is a it's a near masterpiece on that level. And that's ridiculous because we reserve the word. The High Horse reserves the word for masterpiece in movies like Godfather, Apocalypse Now, and so on and so forth. Citizen Kane, Vertigo. We all know them. But so going to Guardians, I kind of understood the possible like area, like the realm that first movie was coming from based on Slither. So I was with everyone, completely surprised and taken aback by how well that movie came off, how fun it was. It was one of those movies where I just remember saying out loud, like while laughing, like what the f, like holy shit, like what. Repeatedly said throughout that movie because the humor was so exact and angry, like at the same time. It was like even like a little bit mean, and it was just awesome. So like you have like a surprise, like it's almost like you're surprised when you watch a movie like that. And just talking right now, there's other movies I've seen that have that effect, that fallen on the second installment, the follow-up. Like I remember younger, going to see Batman Returns with my buddy Scott, and he just didn't know how to take it. We were both, it might have been like his birthday or something. We went with his mother, who was hot. And like I remember, like Batman Returns kind of like spun his head. It's like it's not that first movie. So, and throughout life, like the life of watching movies and kind of like just being attracted to them, like you see this, and now it's something different now. It's like a per era thing, like it morphs from era to era, morphs into something different. But even when I was younger, it's like RoboCop 2, loved it. No one seemed to remember RoboCop 2. Everyone hated Gremlins New Batch. And then just like jumping ahead, you had like almost like a sequel renaissance in like the early 2000s, which was like Spider-Man 2, X-Men 2, and a lot of these movies were like very well extended versions of the first movie. Not so much like remakes, but like growing up, and you can kind of see some of this in the Scream movie. Like the only conversation about sequels at one time was like Terminator 2, Aliens, Godfather 2. Like that was like your trinity, your trifecta. And there's different reasons why even those sequels like resonated and work. Not scientific reasons, but more like cultural and lack of competition. So now we're in a sequel heavy era. I would say promoted or enabled by the comic book era, where the comic book era has now corrected Hollywood and what to do with sequels and how to approach them. And there's I gotta think this through. I may not get through the definition of what I'm trying to say here. It might take a little bit of time. But it's like there's kind of like two types of sequels, which is like you have one that's like the extension of the original, so it's like just more of this. And then you have one that goes sideways, which would be like Aliens and The Dark Knight. And the ones that go sideways, risk reward, same as the ones that stay consistent with like a tone of the original, like a Spider-Man 2. And we're talking Toby, the Toby Spider-Man, not the Hacksaw Ridge Sorry, I don't know these guys, their names. You can look them up. So, like Hidden Guardians, and it was kind of like, I was classifying some of this within my tweet, which is like, like there's a surprise of that movie, same as like Matrix and like Pirates of the Caribbean really comes to mind, because that movie was like out of nowhere, a huge surprise, and like everyone just loved it and wanted more, and you kind of get more with the second one, whatever the heck that's called. And I always remember them being fantastic, awesome movies. I still do, just because, again, like they commit, they kill people, alliances get morphed and changed, but I kind of remember things ending up where they began, which is like one of those old adages, which it's kind of dead now when it comes to serialized storytelling, where everything constantly changes, which is like a little bit of the Sopranos effect. We get more into that like a little bit later, but yeah. So Guardians is not going to have the surprise. Volume 2 is not going to have the surprise of Volume 1 at all. It's a ridiculous thing to expect. It's a ridiculous thing to expect the humor to carry over the same way, because you know the jokes, all the gags. So like from a production filmmaking standpoint, like what do we do here? Do we go sideways? Do we go aliens with this? Do we go into a completely different, unexpected direction? Like heck no. Like the Guardians does not lean itself in that direction. It doesn't lean itself to putting the audience back against the wall. Sometimes it confuses people. Iron Man 3, big example. And I'm just spinning these off as they're coming to mind. So I went into Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 with the appropriate mindset, which is, we pretty much have who I feel like now, after seeing it, like the best filmmaker within the Marvel Extended Universe, one of the best single minds for big production movies. Okay, where like kind of like you have the notion that his fingerprints are all over the movie. James Gunn's is like fingerprints, and so like what do you kind of have? Like we have an extension of the first movie, but then like something's done in this movie, like some nuance emerged, which is, we have a lot of character. Now, you hear a lot about this. You hear a lot of high horse stuff on character. Rogue One, not enough character. Force Awakens, not enough character. And it becomes this like throw around phrase that the reviewer, description that the reviewer does not even classify what their parameters are. They don't. It's just something that's thrown around. You can use that, but you have to throw it, you have to cage it in with some context and explanation, okay? Using these platitude, or these like highfalutin platitude level phrases to describe things that are relatively complex. And, we will just say, it's okay to say film review is complex. It's not easy. It's not for everyone. You need practice doing it. You just don't sit down and do it. So we have character. We have something that everybody wants to see, and nobody seems to like it, because we will hear that Yondu and Peter and even Ego have fantastic character, and Nebula, the Green Girl, and the wrestler Batista dude, who's awesome in this movie, don't have enough character. So it's like what are we really doing here? It can't go both ways. We're not expected to watch 6-hour movies, nor are these filmmakers expected to make 6-hour movies. So what we have here is, I would say, the best of the Marvel sequels. And I'm saying this high off of seeing the movie. I looks like I'm seeing it again too. Sunday's this weekend. I'm not sure when this is going to get released because my upcoming weekend is from Friday on is downhill racer, and I really have no weekend coming up. It's just going to go right into the workday on Monday. So this might get released on Monday, and there might be like multiple episodes locked up. So let me just take a drink here. Wanting to keep this a little bit short too, just from the outages, because I do have to crash out and do stuff tomorrow. But no, we have a Marvel sequel that drives us into the heart of multiple characters simultaneously at a exacto surgical scalpel level, meaning it's calculated and it's by design. So that's what this movie is. That's what this movie does, minus the hype, the expectation. Something has to be done with expectations for movies, because I think I don't know, like I think there's like this entitlement thing that's happening, that like you're entitled to expect something from a movie and you're upset when it's not delivered, which is ridiculous. The objective here is to make a movie, and you cross your fingers that the best thing happens. Marvel is lucky enough to have chosen someone to do this, and that person has turned out to be exactly everything Marvel expected. So, but no, like if you have a relationship with your parents, mostly your father, that's one of the reasons why this movie resonates and does what it does. Okay. We're talking a huge budget movie with all the top actors, top talent, and this movie has so much heart. There's a lot of truth into the heart, into like exactly where family rolls in, okay, and what parents mean to us, and why it's important to have that in our lives. And when it's not in our lives, we crave it coming in. We want it penetrated. We want guidance. We need questions answered. We need room to figure things out on our own, but we need that balance. And we're talking Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, and that is where we are with this movie. I thought the arcs for this movie, and you know, I apologize for kind of being all over the place and not really talking story. I'm giving general impression and feeling here, but you know, like Yondu dies. They wedge him into being Peter Quill's or Star-Lord's or the PNR guy. They wedge him into being his like true father figure. Kurt Russell twist becomes the villain of the movie, which I was like, yes, like really. And you know, like they didn't waste a lot of time getting into it, which I thought was fantastic. You know, we have multiple villains and kind of conflicts happening. The team gets split up, and then the team itself, when they're split up, they have, each one is like psychoanalyzed. I thought Batista had fantastic lines about his home world and where he came from, and you know, talks about like when he first met his wife, and there's like another little thing on what him and his daughter like back home, which was really like heartfelt. So we have a Rocket Raccoon, as I'll always call him. Rocket essentially gets deconstructed as well. Baby Groot is, you know, Baby Groot, and I thought used they used the 3 rule really well with Baby Groot, which is beginning, middle, and end. And then again, it's like, you know, what else do you get with this? And you know, they had plenty of cutaway shots with Baby Groot, so he was through. Everyone you wanted was throughout the entire movie. You kind of had splintered like storylines or locations where everyone was. I thought that was like the movement for that was well balanced. And and look, the thing is though too, it's like I went into this, just relatively expecting to see a movie, and that's what I got. I got a beginning, a middle, and an end. I got emotional depth. I thought it was like laughing throughout the entire movie. I thought it was funny as heck. This is another thing I keep hearing. The jokes fell flat, and I don't know, man. Like, is the movie review apparatus, these influencers, like are these influencers so freaking jaded? Excuse me. Are they that jaded? I kind of want to say yes. I believe that they're jaded. It's hard to listen to them. But I do feel like when they tell you to go watch a movie, when they tell you to stay away from a movie, there's usually they're usually right on what's good and what's not. But the way how they're discussing why things are good and why things are bad is completely harmful. It's backwards. It hurts. It discredits a lot of the work done by these professionals. And look, like I had to sit through those credit sequences. And side note, like the hell with Stan Lee. I'm just done with it. He was in this movie twice, and that was 2 times more than I wanted to see him. This movie needed more Lloyd Kaufman, the guy that gave James Gunn his first chance, who was, you see him briefly in the first Guardians of the Galaxy in the prison scene. So, we kind of have like almost like a jaded core putting out the conversation for movies like this, kind of directed by studios, and even when they say negative things, it's just questionable negative, meaning that the jokes fell flat. It's like, all right, well, you can say that, and they told people they could say that because everyone said it, and I sat through a theater where everyone was cracking up almost the entire time. Okay, so, and some of these jokes hit big. So, like, how's that possible? That is an impossibility for you to say jokes fell flat, if you're not being told to say it, or if you're jaded as a mother effer. But no, we're like 40 minutes deep here. We had trouble seeing the movie, so we'll discuss that later. And I'm just a little bit tired, a little bit exhausted. Like I said, it's I was up early. I gotta go do something with Dallas because he's just ready to go right now, and I gotta maybe play with him for a little bit to keep him going. And I gotta crash out. I gotta go into Friday, which is like another morning to close type thing for me. Peter morning to close, not that I have to open or close a establishment. And so, and then it's full Saturday. I should be recording Saturday, should be recording Sunday as well. So we'll have like really good releases coming up. This one being the best episode of the upcoming releases of Dream Warriors, of course. But no, I just wanted to talk about some of that. Just wanted to discuss like just the point. I guess the point of what I'm saying is just go into movies, go in with like a fresh mind, go in with with some curiosity. Don't get upset when things don't make sense in movies, or if things don't add up. I'm not saying like accept it all the time, but like put yourself in a moment, like put yourself where you are and enjoy it. That's why movies are created. They're not there to appease your comic book continuity driven self, or for you to compare even movies to like previous ones. It's fun when there's like connections, but it's in no way a bearing on the quality of a movie, because people make connections between movies anyway that don't really exist. Good example of this would be me connecting Michael Mann's Thief to his Heat movie, where I believe that Robert De Niro's character, his younger version, is James Caan, and James Caan's character grows up to become Robert De Niro in the movie Heat, which is one that a lot of people who like Michael Mann, they like me going through what the connections are in that. But it's like you make your own connections in these movies, regardless of what the filmmakers intend. And sometimes they intend it and it's fun, and sometimes they don't, and you still discover connections and it's fun. And in no way are movies bad because they don't do it. And you kind of see this with the Transformer movies, where people just want these connections with other media, and it's just like, no, like, what are we doing here? Like, just make a Transformers movie, make a sequel, like carry things over that you think work, get paid, make your movie, make it fun, move on. And like, that's my attitude. Like, I just want to sit down, like have an all over the place, have a long day. Just want to sit down and watch a movie and be entertained and be geared up for the next day, because the way how I run, the way how I operate, it's like, challenges every day, like good ones too, like ones that kind of like put you through the mill. And I think a lot of the expectation is going to subtract on what people think about this movie. And I think it's going to be a little bit like a Pirates of the Caribbean effect. But I also think, like, 10 years down the road, someone who discovers Guardians and then watches Guardians Volume 2, they're going to be like, yo, like, this thing is amazing. Like, wow, like, this is great. They're not going to have this weird expectation from movie to movie because of this gap that occurs when you have to make a movie between movies. But no, I mean, I think you kind of see some of it too with Infinity War coming up, which is like, there's just endless speculation on that. People kind of learn their lesson with the Star Wars movies, where it seems like there's less speculation, but it's the same level of like kind of like hyperbole on like things that happened with the Last Jedi trailer. But it's still like the speculation just doesn't seem to mean as much anymore. It doesn't seem to be in demand as much anymore. And I'm not saying that there's people that are not going to spoil Last Jedi going into it, but I definitely think there will be a majority of the reviewers that will spoil Last Jedi in their minds before they sit down and watch the movie. Same as Rogue One, where everything with Rogue One you heard about the music and the title card, the title treatment for that movie, and you completely use that as a focal point of your review. And given like maybe the music could have been like different, but I thought it held up and it had notes and themes throughout, identifiable themes, which is a part of the Star Wars style. And I thought that was Rogue One is like, I would argue that's the best one. And everyone goes like Empire Strikes Back, and but it's a Empire is a completely different type of movie, and Rogue One represents another type of movie, and Rogue One just seems just so much more like layered, and which is crazy for me to say, because up until this point you've heard that there's no layers to Rogue One and the characters are just blank. And I don't know, man, it's a hell of a movie. I love watching it. I always put it on while I'm working. Sometimes it's just muted and I have music playing, but there's so much in that movie that's beyond good. But this is what I'm talking about. Movies are spoiled in minds before they're seen today. And just go see Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 and enjoy it. Go see Wonder Woman and have a good time. And who cares if Wonder Woman is connected to Batman vs Superman or what that girl did in Batman vs Superman? Like, who who cares? Like, maybe they'll reference the party with Bruce Wayne or some crap. I don't freaking know or care. Like, I want to watch a Wonder Woman movie. I want to watch a warrior princess do some things. Do I think it's going to resonate because I talked about it before? Like, no, I really don't. I don't think the audience is going to really carry over for Wonder Woman on the level that DC needs and Warner Brothers needs. My criticism for that is different, which is an observation on the overall reception of the movie, not the quality of the film. Okay, just want to be clear on that. But no, gotta sign off here. I got things to do. I'm a busy guy. My phone has been going off the entire time I've been sitting here with you, so I will crash out texting and updating everyone and people, which is one of my nightly practices. But no, I'm signing off. More Dream Warriors coming. The train keeps on going. Support, comment, let me know. Let Peter know. I'm all over social media, but let me know how we're doing with this and things you want to discuss, and should we have people calling in? Should we be interviewing individuals and professionals or other geeks, other people a part of the core of the army? I don't know. Like, do we want hot cosplayers here, or do we want like unhot cosplayers? I don't know. Do we just want gay cosplayers here? What about cosplaying cats and dogs? Like, no one gives them focus. Are they being discriminated against? Should that be one of our topics? But yeah, look, signing off. Peace, love to everyone. That's so corny. That's so unauthentic. Look, I'm going. You enjoy yourself. Have some popcorn. Have a lollipop, and call it a day. Goodbye.